He did do it already?
But he asked to change January 20th.
So he did.
I call the Village of Johnsburg, December 16th, 2014, regular meeting of the President and Board of Trustees to order at 7 p.m. On the roll, Trustee Janis.
Here.
Trustee McAvoy.
Present.
Trustee Sisk.
Here.
Trustee Heeman.
Here.
Trustee Clemstein.
Here.
And Trustee Hutchinson.
Here.
Stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
From the floor, Mr. Reiki.
Yes.
Bill?
Hi.
Mike.
I'm here on behalf of the Laker Snowmobile Club, and I just wanted to thank the village for allowing us to keep our trail. We have a new route through Dutch Creek this year, so we were going to give it a shot and see how it works out. It's off the roadway, so we don't have to worry about the sidewalks, and we will impose a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit throughout the trail system once you enter the residential area, so, you know, hopefully that will help with the, you know, the noise issue and such, so.
You do we just passed the ordinance about running on the sidewalks in the downtown areas, and it's gotta stay on the trail. There is a $400 fine now.
Yeah,
I think that was
we
going
have
on
that noted on our maps this
on the
year.
snowmobile backs.
Yep, so,
I've been told countywide to stay off the sidewalks and stuff like that.
and,
Fine and stuff like
we
that.
marked Fairview Lane the other day. We strung it, you know, put some string and ribbon up to keep them off the sidewalk and, on the roadside of the telephone poles. The only issue might be is that little piece of sidewalk right at Fairview and Johnsburg Road, because there is nowhere to string and ribbon and stakes up there. So as I talked to you earlier about maybe putting a couple cones, put some little signs on there to keep them off that sidewalk there.
Okay,
Do we have, is there a map of where the routes are that go to Johnsburg?
yes.
Is there any way that we could get a copy? Or you only have one?
John, I can get you,
Oh, I got
I
it.
can get you them.
We-
I got a
Yeah.
lot in the truck.
And we can have them, and they are for our meetings with the police chief and, Michael, or, Tim, based on them talking to the landowners and getting permission from the landowners to,
We'll go grab
reroute it. But, what we're trying to do is find the safest routes there is. We want to keep them off the main roads, and we don't want them crossing that like the corner of Spring Grove Road. And, we're trying to go farther to the west, so they cross and, do it in a safe manner, you know.
The trail stays all the way south of Johnsburg Road, all the way through town, mostly on private land.
So this, is this a current map that shows it as it goes up down Johnsburg Road, along Johnsburg Road?
Yeah, but it's
Because there
really,
is a crossing on here identified
Yeah, that
east
might
of our
be-
sidewalk, east of Spring Grove Road, crossing our sidewalk.
yeah, it's a little bit misleading there because it's not a very detailed map, but that whole trail where the 20 is actually on the south side of Johnsburg Road now.
Okay.
A couple of
Go ahead,
comments,
Rich.
if I could. You heard us over talking prior to the meeting.
Yeah.
I did receive some calls from some neighbors. They're not happy about this because it does in fact technically or could violate a nuisance ordinance being within 100 feet of a home. So, and I can appreciate the 20 mile per hour, but you know, the majority of the traffic, not majority, a lot of the traffic's gonna come out of half times. Could be late at night, it wouldn't surprise me that some folks that are not too thrilled about this. And the other thing would be, is that crossing the cul-de-sac with studded tracks, I mean, I'm the first person to hop on my sled and go riding, but if we get a lot of traffic through there, what's the course of action if it rips up the street? Whose responsibility is that gonna be to have it?
Well, first of all, they cross the streets in a number of places. It's just not in our subdivision, they cross them in a number of places within the village. The club also has insurance to repair all that type of thing, and you guys can address that if you'd like to. They had an incident where they tore up the Keegan's driveway, and I think you guys did the replacement of it. So if there is any surmountable damage, you know, they do have insurance to take care of the property owner's damage and the street damage. Hitting at the cul-de-sac is not really an ideal spot because you're not going out in the ditch where you're tearing up the road. You're going flat across on flat ground, onto flat ground. So that's an ideal
All the
situation
trails
for
across
crossing,
roads
plus it's off the main road.
in the area, we've never had an issue where we've had to replace a road, you know, from studs and that.
Gravel or stuff on the side of the road. I mean, we don't get the traffic like up north where you have your place, I mean,
And up north, where all the trails cross the road, they do special concrete mixes and put in a special crossing just for snowmobiles. Down here in our area, we don't see that kind of traffic.
Have you seen the crossing on 31 in Ringwood? Just south of the, what is that? Bar that's on- Oh, that is really chopped up bad.
31 in Ringwood, where are you talking? John?
It's south of Ringwood Road, south of that bar.
O'Leary.
O'Leary's? It's brutal what it's done to that road.
So would it be appropriate if we take pictures of the cul-de-sac now in its condition? And if we see that it's damaged the road, then we work with them to get it repaired, right?
Good point.
Yeah, I think
Good
it's,
idea.
I mean, if they say it's not gonna do it, then we trust them, right? If it doesn't look like it's gonna do it, then we use their policy and get some patching done for us.
so one other point of clarification, you're not crossing Johnsburg Road north and south anywhere.
No.
You're heading by Hughes's and heading all the way
It
on the
stays
south side of
south
Johnsburg and
of
then
the
cutting
road.
down.
Yeah.
All right, okay, good.
We tried to get rid of that crossing just
Mhm.
because of a safety issue on the corner by Johnsburg Road, and they worked hard with the landowners and getting all their permissions and yes, Kevin?
Would it be of value to take and load this map up for Johnsburg and get it on the website?
Well, I don't think it's good to show this, 'cause it's wrong.
We have a better,
Well, I mean-
we have a better map
Right.
that Tim has done that we could blow up and show to Johnsburg.
Do they have a website? Do you have a website with it posted? Why can't we just link it to theirs?
We could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a exhibit that Tim has done that you could blow up on the
The
website.
reason I did it was in conjunction with the county, because we were both very concerned with going on the public sidewalks like they did last year in phase one, and the potential damage they could have done to our pavers and our, you know, just even our lighting and
Right.
things happen. And then when Mr. Thompson came to tell me where they were going, you know, I said, well, remember, this is a county road right away, so here's Ray Beat's phone number, if you'd like to chat with him about crossing their public road right away. And he just said what they said, it was easier to stay all on the south side and only cross in this one location, blah, blah, blah. So my main concern was for our sidewalks and our, you know.
Yeah.
You bet, that's a big deal.
I'm
I'm
also
thinking of the
concerned that,
snowmobilers that are out there that may not be club members and that sort of thing.
Well, that's what George said, and others I've heard, it always seems like 9 out of 10 times the violators are non-club, you know,
Right.
snowmobilers that own them, you know, go up north and all that. It's
So if
the
we have
road
that-
ones, like last year, driving right down Johnsburg Road, right
Right.
on our sidewalk, Springville
So if we
Road.
have, you know, we have a map posted, we can say, you could have checked the website.
Well, and I think with the map, in our ordinance, it also gives our police some teeth, and that's my understanding, we have a snowmobile or opportunity to have it.
We have a snowmobile
So
now.
guess what? And if we send a message that we're serious, that we don't tolerate noise in the residential areas, we don't tolerate horsing around in our cul-de-sacs, and respect our community like these guys do, like you see up north most of the time, at least our police can enforce. you know, and keep it safe.
We are having signs made up, quiet zone, 20 miles an hour, so we'll have it at,
Oh, good.
all the way over by Fairview, and then coming in, to the west of Johnsburg Road also. There are a few other towns that have imposed curfews like that. Richmond has a 10:30 speed limit of 15 miles an hour through the village at night on weekdays, and then 20 miles an hour at night. But we were figuring we would just do it all the time, keep it a quiet zone, because it's residential. There's an area up by Twin Lakes that has a similar situation, and they've been running through the subdivision for about 3 years now, and they've been all right with it there, so. You know, it does work. You're gonna have one bad apple in the bunch every once in a while, but,
Sure.
you know.
And if the residents call and the police arrest and ticket, then guess what? The message will get around,
Exactly.
right?
And you're in the cul-de-sac there, so the police presence can be right there in the cul-de-sac to, you know,
It's pretty easy.
yeah.
Yep, pretty easy to stop them.
Yeah, we want you to use half times, but be a good neighbor.
Okay, any other questions for Bill? If not, we'll move right on. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate your
Thank
input,
you.
and,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. What's the oath of office? Oath of office?
I'm sorry, I'm just going straight over from past.
I know, I was gonna ask you about that. Okay. Move to approve the minutes of December 2nd, 2014, regular meeting of the President and Board of Trustees.
Do you want the whole on this agenda?
On this agenda.
So moved.
I didn't get the disbursement.
You didn't get a disbursement yet? Do you guys want to table this for next meeting then, and she'll have to send out what has to be sent out?
Unless we can make a copy of them.
Yeah, I can if they want to, why don't I do that, if you guys want to, why don't you move along on the agenda?
Okay, why
I'll
don't...
make a copy real quick and get them certified, okay?
Why don't we approve everything but the disbursements?
Suppose.
Okay, unless there's something else that somebody needs to have pulled, and we'll take a few minutes to look at them, because it's gonna be a while before we have another meeting, so I would just assume approval and not approval. Okay? Okay, can I entertain a motion to approve that on this agenda,
So move it.
excluding the disbursements?
Second.
Motion made by trustee McAvoy, seconded by trustee Hutchinson. Discussion on the motion. With there being none, on the roll. Trustee Hutchinson?
Aye.
Trustee Clemstein?
Aye.
Trustee Heeman?
Aye.
Trustee Sisk?
Aye.
Trustee McAvoy? And
Aye.
trustee Janice?
Aye.
Motion carried. Communications and petitions, the zoning ordinance for the conditional use of, the Gerlitz property has been, both of those first reads have been tabled to 1/20, the meeting of 1/20, or second meeting in January 15. And we will move on to the first read of, move to approve ordinance 14-15-27, amending chapter 17E1 and adding chapter 17E2 and 3 of the Johnsburg Municipal Code regarding storage, garbage, and recycling containers, etc. I believe that it's gone through ordinance, and ordinance was okay with the revisions. Do you want to add to that, Rich?
No, that's correct. We reviewed all of the changes or suggestions, and everything's fine for our committee. The other thing was, no, never mind.
Okay.
It's the first.
Do we have a motion? We don't need a motion, it's first read,
Right.
so,
I have a question.
okay, discussion.
It says here that the first line, no person shall place any garbage or refuse or recycling container on any street, alley, or other public place. What about private roads?
Is that a public place?
No, that's what I'm saying. Should we be including this ordinance to cover the private roads? Because right now, it doesn't sound to me like it does.
Is a private road considered a public place?
Right.
That's what was my question.
Can you enforce that?
Any street, I don't think we're going to enforce it.
Very question for the chief.
Well, it's the first read, and I think that would be a good question for Michael. Michael's not here, but I think it's a good point, and, we should get that, looked at. So, well, that will make a point of the concern of the,
I just raised a question,
No.
Glad,
Question.
about this ordinance, that it refers to any street, alley, or other public place, in the first line of this. And I
Okay.
just wondered if we need to include private roads, because otherwise, to me, it doesn't look like this has anything to do with private roads, and can we include that?
Well, it does,
Oh, with
it
regards
does
to
touch on
garbage.
any street. I mean,
Okay.
But probably still a good question. If any street covers,
Yeah, it's
let's
just
say a
that,
private,
it's just the way it tags on, say, or other public place, kind of links it to, it's all public. To
Right.
me, the way I interpret it.
Okay,
So I
I'll
just-
definitely check into that before it comes back before you,
Right.
and we'll let you know.
Okay, and then
it's
one
a
other...
good question for Michael.
And then one other comment I wanted to make was just that I noticed that there's still some commercial containers around the village that haven't been removed yet, in violation of the ordinance of
Right,
the
the
commercial,
containers.
at a residential location. So-
We can have our code enforcement officer follow them further on those.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions, discussion, clarifications? It will be on the next agenda, the next meeting to be approved, with revisions and questions answered that Mary Lewis asked. Okay, move to approve ordinance 14-15-28, amending chapter 43 of the Johnston Municipal Code. This is our first read too, isn't it? So, discussion?
in chapter 43, the changes or amendments in there are primarily class changes from A to B, community service hours, the increase in those based on the number of violations, 3 or more violations, the addition of banning e-cigarettes from public places also. And that's really the gist of the changes there.
So, Rich, the distinction between an A and a B is the amount of the fine?
The amount of the fine.
So what basically is lowered, I'm assuming, is that right? Is B less than an A?
No, it's higher.
No, it's
It's
not.
higher.
Yeah.
It's higher.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
C, D, yeah.
so we're raising it.
Correct.
What are we raising it from?
I can tell you this one.
Okay.
50 to 75, from 50 to 75.
Dollars.
Is that enough?
Yeah, is that in line with other bills?
Is that enough?
That seems to be enough. I mean, Chief was concerned with just covering the cost of, like, having to come in here and education costs, court costs, officer's time. He was okay with that.
Is that is there a graduating fine built in there, or it's just, like, that's the first offense, and then what if there's a second offense? Class B.
That's what they said they changed, right? Do you have an answer for that, Rich?
I'm sorry?
Is there a graduated increase for first offense, second offense, or is it, like 75 is the first offense, correct?
Correct.
Then after that, does it go up? Does it stay at
Then
75?
they get cited again, when it's still 75. And then I believe in a third violation, it goes up from there. I don't have the exact dollar values in front of me, I don't have the book with me. I can get that for you.
Maybe just a summary of
I just don't know if 75 is.
One is 75.
It's going from 50 to 175.
I'd like to see 150.
50 to 175.
What is mine?
Maybe just a summary of what it means to go from A to B. I'm not familiar with that.
I mean, I don't wanna get crazy with fines either, but I think we're pretty, you know,
Pretty much in line with
we're
other
pretty
municipalities.
lenient in giving warnings, and I think that, you know, we give a warning, and if it doesn't work, and you only find somebody $75, huh? Well,
Yeah, I want to make sure that's accurate. Hold on one moment. That's pretty ordinary.
Is it 175?
that's not what, where do you see that?
That's the front, it's just-
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
I
it
just
is.
don't
It is
know.
175,
What is
150 to
going to be, what is
175.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, see, the 75 was the old rate.
So we're raising it from 50 to 175, not
Yes.
75, like Bob said. Okay.
That,
That to me seems like it would
Yeah.
get their attention.
I wrote that down. I wrote
If you
that
give a
down.
warning. Otherwise,
But I just don't know the ramifications,
we're running
you
the
know, is there a first,
police
second,
tail off and not
ramp
getting
up,
it.
is
It actually does. Any second or continued violation of the same offense shall increase the penalty for the next offense classification. A Class C is 200, a Class D is 400. We can get a copy of it to you. It's
Yeah,
under
I-
chapter
I-
one,
yeah.
it's chapter one, it's on our website too.
We raised those earlier in the year, right, or
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah.
We did, right, for
Yeah.
the dollar violation?
Well, we can get you a copy so that you see.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick summary of it.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe just a summary of what we raised them from, too,
Right.
would help.
Yeah.
You know, just a little summary of
Pull
what
a
we
little
raised
in
them
there,
from.
so it'll be in there with a markup.
Right, okay, that would be helpful.
Helpful.
Sure, feel free.
Okay,
Yeah, that does have, I have a question.
yes.
43.19, section A, and we added motorbike and snowmobile to that, right? Does this cover golf carts?
There's a separate ordinance regarding golf.
So that's covered, we don't need to include it here? Is there any reason to include it here?
I don't think so, the golf cart ordinance is all
Right, but we-
one by itself.
You can make, we'll look at it to make sure that there's no...
Consistency, you
Right.
know what I mean? Because it talks about other
You know what we've
motor
done in
vehicles.
other, the recent change that we made, we say, you know, or any other motorized vehicle.
Right.
That way it's a little bit all encompassing, so.
But
We
since
should
you
probably
spelled
carry
it
that
out,
forward.
I'm just wondering, yeah, for consistency purposes.
And that was 43.19.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And I have no idea, am I like living in a cave, but what is Didi? Didi cigarette? Am I living in a cave? Everybody know what that is?
What is?
43.2. Correction, don't say Didi, what the heck is
It
that?
was,
I think we had this conversation.
Oh, BD,
before.
it's a
I-
small, like, cigarette thing.
small little,
Yeah.
and
Little small, yeah,
43.20
like this.
defines what it is.
Yeah, I read that, and I was like, I
Yeah.
never even heard that term before, so maybe you guys discussed it at a board meeting I missed, but I'm like, what is that?
BD, yeah, it's small, umbrella, little cigarette thing. Yeah. BD.
I never heard of that either.
Yes.
Showing your age, kid.
I think I
I've never smoked it, but
That's not what
I
they call it.
I had no idea what that was, so I mean, I read the definition of it, I'm like, what the heck is that? And then my last observation was 43.26 under theft. We're taking out all of 5, it looks like, right? That's all coming out? This is all coming out?
Hang on, where are you?
43.26 theft? It's all coming out.
Yes. This is all being stricken. And
That-
Rich, is that based on?
That was verbiage that Keith and I reviewed from the state statute. And that's why he reread that and said that doesn't belong in there.
Okay. So then 6 becomes 5 and B becomes 8?
Correct.
Right.
C becomes
Three
B?
letter, three number.
Right, okay. And then retail theft, 43.31, item 8. Is that something too that Keith took out because of this dollar value, of 300?
Oh, this is what we can-
It's 43.
Yep, I see it, that was,
That's, I know the feeling.
I'm not remembering why that one was taken out, honestly.
I think that's, anything at $300 and above is considered a...
Different level
It's-
theft or something like that?
It's a,
Felony?
felony.
It's a felony, it's a misdemeanor.
Right. I think,
That's probably why he crossed
I'm
it out.
thinking it's because it's a
If that's
felony.
chief, then on that, I think it's a
Yeah,
class.
Keith crossed that out.
I think it's a
That's
felony.
It's a class
And
felony
that's probably why
versus
they took it out of this thing. 'cause it's-
misdemeanor theft, petty theft or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We can clarify that with the chief, just to...
And Michael probably too, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a felony.
it is a felony at 300, so that's probably why. Okay, I mean,
Any other discussion? Okay. We'll have the corrections made and the questions answered for you, so it can be approved on the next meeting. Okay, let's back up to disbursements, and is everybody need a few minutes to go through them yet, or do you, are you okay with that?
I've started a little bit here, Ed, I can start if, or do we need to make a motion first?
Well, for discussion, we'll make a motion, but if you want a few minutes to look through it before we make a motion and then
Yeah,
have
wait till
discussion.
everybody's done. But
Yeah.
I found a couple of minor things.
Everybody can look through them, since we didn't have prior. And let's take our time, look through them, and then we'll, have a motion and discussion. motion?
So move it.
We have a motion by trustee McAvoy, seconded by trustee Heeman. Discussion on the motion.
I've got a couple of minor things.
Okay.
Page 1, third item down, First Midwest Bank, looks like, I think that's not coded correctly, Claudette, those are clearly not bank payments.
I'm sorry, what?
115653,
Yes.
the vendor is First Midwest Bank, am I reading that wrong?
That's the credit card.
Oh,
And she breaks
So
it
those
down,
are
it's
paid.
coded, yeah. it's coded.
oh, okay. Okay. So that's coded, how do they code that then as far as applying it to?
Well, some of them might be like, one might be a line item like miscellaneous, the other might be equipment or supplies. So she breaks it down like that so that it's coded
Okay,
appropriately.
okay, good,
within the-
all right,
Which one?
okay, all right.
Yeah, the credit card. So it's credit card.
Yeah, and the only other one I've got, the only other one I have, Claudia, is, I see we're making a payment, how close are we to finalizing our payments to Angela?
Actually, very close. I will give you guys a summary.
To-
Very close to getting that finalized.
Yeah, Angela, that's page 3,
Right.
good,
So text them through.
good, okay. That's all I have.
I have one question on page 4.
Okay.
The Morton Salt was above and beyond our bulk allocation for salt.
Molten salt.
Well, he just had salt brought in.
I know, but don't we get an allocation from the state?
This is the
That is the
this
state
is
one?
state
Okay,
purchase, yeah.
okay, that's great.
We're actually at a very good price on our salt
Yes,
this year
right.
because we're in an off year, the contract went for 2 years. Okay, so we were locking at last year's prices, so we're in pretty good shape with our salt compared to other communities. Yeah, we lucked out, I think, but, that is one of the things with the, McCog is gonna try to get all the communities to, that was one of the issues that was brought up, that, we think we can buy the salt when the whole county gets a price.
Recall, we amended the intergovernmental agreement recently.
Right.
To be able to do
It was like
that.
the last
Understand the
2 meetings ago,
It
maybe.
was billed out that way,
Mhm.
that's why I was questioning.
One other item, clarification.
Still directly from the
Okay.
supplier.
Yes,
Well,
Rich?
On page 3, 115673, the grower equipment and supply for the Van Track diesel tractor, is that a replacement
I'm sorry,
tractor?
say that again, Rich.
I'm sorry, 115673 on
Yes.
page 3,
Yes.
for that tractor, is that a replacement?
No, that's the one we approved for the
Oh,
sidewalks.
okay, gotcha.
Approved for the sidewalks with the blower and the
Yeah,
cab
yeah.
and,
Alright.
turn center. It's a brand new piece of equipment, and we haven't put a motor for it because we're looking at outsourcing all mowing next year.
Okay.
We are going to be buying a salt spreader for that, though, right?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Gonna have, we gotta get the right kind of salt.
Right.
And the sidewalk.
Okay, any other questions? With there being none, on the roll, trustee Ganis,
Aye.
trustee McAvoy,
Aye.
trustee Sisk,
Aye.
trustee Heeman,
Aye.
trustee Clemenstein,
Aye.
and trustee Hutchinson. I think, everybody got their letter from Michael this afternoon, that we're done with our lawsuit finally with, Mr. Ernest, right? So, that's over. A lot of legal fees, but thank God, we're not paying them, so.
Does he have to pay those? He has to pay those, doesn't he?
Pardon?
Doesn't he have to pay those legal fees?
No, Rome has to pay for them.
Oh.
You know what we should be.
number is?
North of
75, isn't it?
It was, yeah, it was that way, I think it was
75.
that, it was,
north of 75 last
and it was.
That's why we want to stay out of lawsuits.
It's exactly right, so. Okay, motion for adjournment?
And I'd just like to say one thing for your committee. I think the Christmas holiday celebration was incredible. I thought it was a real nice job by your committee. And also, thank you for last week for the party that you put on for all the committee members. It was tremendous.
Once again, thank HR and
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Rod
guys.
for the fantastic job and the generous donation. Actually, I think we're probably going to come out on the better than we have just when we had a small party. We're actually going to be in better shape, yeah. Chris, there are some people that donated.
Yeah, I've just gotten a lot of comments back,
It was a
especially for the village-wide party, you know, a lot of comments back that they just were overwhelmed with, you know, kind of a hometown kind of.
And they all deserve it. All those committee members work hard and they.
I'm talking about the one for the kids.
Pardon me?
The one for the kids, you know.
Yep.
It was nice.
We had a lot of kids.
There was a lot of kids. I was amazed.
New venue.
It started out slow and then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
boom,
not
it was
many,
packed.
let's see, there had to be probably 90 kids there.
In here again?
Huh?
Was it in here again?
Oh, no, we
No,
can't, we got broke that
no.
2 years ago, yeah.
And just for a point of conversation, we have a piece of equipment, you know, John O'Brien has been dragging hoses out of the bottom of the community club to put the surface on the ice, okay? He did that all last year. He dragged the hose from the downstairs community club all the way out there, and then he would roll them all back up. and put them in the-
resurface.
So,
Yeah,
to resurface, he has a
yeah,
little
resurface.
mop that he has made up to do it. We have a piece of equipment with, it's a wagon with a tank on it and a gas-powered pump. And, last night at the community club board meeting, they approved that we could put that wagon and stuff in the basement so he can drag it down there with his truck, do it, put it back in the basement. It'll be heated, it won't freeze, and, it'll save him a lot of effort. And they also approved, based on John's recommendation and his generosity, he doesn't probably want to even hear this.
No, I know, I made the commitment.
Okay. John has made a suggestion that, if they would let us, he, tie into their well, he would trench a frost-free bib over there, and we won't maybe have it this year, but in the future, next year, it will be, the water will be right next to the ice skating area.
It could be used in the
And
pavilions.
it can be used in the pavilion during the summertime, so we'll have water out there. And the community club has agreed to do that.
Okay. Can we, I was over there today and I'm trying to figure a way, because we need to think about filling that tank or that skating rink. And I'm wondering if we could fill it, you know, I know we can fill that thing very easily if we run a temporary water line on the surface of the ground. I can do that, if the community club would let us do that, and that way we don't have to worry about putting, you know, driving trucks on that grass
Oh, ripping it up,
when it's
yeah.
soft.
Yeah.
Because I don't, even if we did it this Saturday, I don't think there's gonna be enough frost in the ground where it's not gonna damage our property. I mean, these trucks weigh 50,000, 60,000 pounds,
That's a lot of water.
right?
I
Well,
mean,
that's
it's a lot of
nothing.
water for that.
It's really nothing, 16,000 gallons, I think it was, is what we figured it to be. Well, no, maybe if it was 20, that's what my pool is, and it's really not a big deal.
The way the conversation went is I started out with the wagon, can we get the wagon this year?
But if they authorize
And
us
they
to-
said,
And maybe next year.
If they authorize us to run the line and use it, that's the way.
what they said, John, is that you have been so generous to the community club in the past that whatever John decides, that's what they'll go with.
Well, I'll make sure I'll go in there and make sure the well is running right.
They thanked you very much, and they said, you know it better than they do,
It won't bother their well one.
so,
If we can do that, that would be huge.
I'm sure we can do that, and
Okay, good.
it's up to your,
All right, good.
It was made, said, talk to John.
Because it's actually cheaper to do that than run, I think we had to run our truck, four loads from our truck,
Wow.
and 2 loads of 4,000 from the fire department.
Right.
So those trucks are in and out, and in and out, and the fuel, and manpower, and, you know, so if we could just run a temporary line over there.
And if we could probably do it during the week, it would probably be better,
Exactly.
so we don't affect the well when
Right.
we need it, and, their ice machines and all that
We
kind
won't
of
even
stuff.
use 1/5 of what that well will produce.
Okay.
It'll still produce enough.
I mean, I'll ask that question, but they more or less said whatever John says, you're the
Okay.
water guy.
Okay, I'll do it.
You have donated, all the work that's been done up there has been donated by him as well,
All right.
so they're not really worried about it.
Well, they know I got it covered.
So thank you very much
Yeah, thank
for,
No,
for suggesting that.
Also, just on the same note, we're gonna have, the Community Affairs Committee is gonna do a Village of Johnsburg family skate on January 24th. Hopefully, we'll have water in there by then.
Oh, yeah, we will.
From 5 to 8 o'clock, we'll have cookies and hot chocolate.
124?
On the 24th, yep.
What day?
From 5 to 8, it's a Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah, from 5 to 8. We didn't want to make it too late,
Okay,
so,
fun.
yeah. So it's called the family skate. We'll just have hot chocolate and cookies probably.
Need a fire pit by that time.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a fire pit.
There might fire
Do we have a-
I mean, need a fire pit by that time. Yeah, or what about that? We'll get you one.
Couldn't make it, and then,
Beautiful. Very good.
Okay. With that, Kevin, anything else? Anybody else? New business, old business? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion by trustee Heeman, seconded by trustee Janice. And on the roll, trustee Hutchison. Trustee Feinstein. Trustee Heeman. Trustee Sis. Trustee McAvoy. And trustee Janice. Motion carries.
So,
Yes, I do.